Hello everyone, I'm SP, and while I've only dipped my toe in the Mr. Beast drama, I couldn't ignore this. Turns out, internet heartthrob doctor and COVID guidelines violator Dr. Mike decided to join the fray and talk about Lunchly, the big Mr. Beast drama that's going on right now. Don't worry, I'm only covering that. I don't really want to dive into the rest of the Mr. Beast drama. That's all alleged, and so I kind of want to wait for a little bit for that to come out. Besides, that's also been done to death, so kind of just gonna scoot past that. But if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's watch and see what all the fuss is about.
KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul have announced they were teaming up and launching a new food product called Lunchly to compete with the uber popular...
I'm sorry, I have to break in so fast and say this. I cannot stand these three people. I don't really have much of a problem with Mr. Beast. Again, it's a bunch of allegations against him, which if that's true, that's awful. But like Logan Paul and KSI are two people I cannot stand. But whatever. I made this point on a friend's video, actually, where I said, I can't believe anybody is still trying to work with Mr. Beast. It seems like you shouldn't be working with Mr. Beast right now while all the dust is up in the air, and you should probably wait for that to settle. And it looks like two big controversy-causing YouTubers have decided to also join the fray. So here we are.
Kids brand Lunchables, and the reception has been less than stellar. Many creators took to...
Yeah, that too. A lot of people are like jumping in on this already. So I'm a little late. I already know that. I'm a little late. But we also have I'm sorry, I just happened to read what Pink Sheep said here, which is pretty funny. I take a second to look at all these. I've been seeing a lot about Dan TDM though. A lot of people have been talking about his reaction to Lunchly. So, but yeah.
Social media to criticize the product and the creators themselves. Logan and Jimmy were quick to push back on the critics with their own posts, and in the process created newsworthy headlines like,
YouTube stars are coming for your kids' lunch. It's a move that has Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI teaming up to take on Lunchables.
And I usually don't make videos discussing creators' products, but when terms like healthier or better for you are tossed around, I feel it's...
Yeah, those are some real big buzzwords that only a doctor should be probably throwing around. So here we have a doctor making a video about it.
Important to set the record straight. So, in the spirit of avoiding personal attacks, let's take a look at the science of Lunchly, including a true issue with their kits I don't think anyone has correctly pointed out yet. For those who may not know, Lunchables are basically these pre-packaged do-it-yourself meal kits. They've usually got things like crackers, deli meats, cheeses, treats, and come with a little drink. And since their inception, they've been super popular with kids. However, it's been...
Oh my God. I just want to talk about Lunchables. I remember growing up, I had to eat school lunch. I hated it. I went to like private school and we had to eat... You would think that the private school lunch would be good while all the other richer kids had Lunchables. Ugh.
And known, especially by experts, that while these kits are fun and tasty, their nutritional value is just
not very good.
They're often too high in sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars, and don't use healthy whole food ingredients. And because they fall into the category of ultra-processed foods, they aren't healthy to consume often, period. Studies actually show that those consuming high amounts of UPFs can have up to 50% higher risk of developing obesity, and some specific UPFs are linked to increases in cancer.
Okay, so maybe my parents were doing the right thing. Maybe my parents were doing the right thing by not letting me eat Lunchables growing up. I'm sorry. Cancer. I can't develop ovarian cancer, but still, geez.
I see it even in my clinic. So many of my pediatric patients are over-consuming UPFs, and it's becoming a growing problem across the country. Consumer Reports even dedicated a special feature highlighting the problems with Lunchables and why they shouldn't be consumed regularly due to health risks.
Jeez.
My own take on Lunchables, I don't recommend parents pack them for their kids on a daily basis. A low-quality food with poor nutritional value. But now, what about Lunchly?
I'm sorry. Before we get to that, we're still on Lunchables. My boyfriend eats them. and I don't think he should be eating them.
Starting with the first claim, in the press release announcing the product, Logan Paul was quoted as saying Lunchly is a healthier alternative and that it's a better for you lunch option compared to Lunchables. In fact, throughout the Lunchly website and the social media promo posts, you'll see countless comparisons being made to Lunchables.
Yeah, on the marketing side of things, they're really going after Lunchables, and it's like, here's a couple of things I see as a marketer is, again, going after healthier is what's going to attack parents. Going after Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul, because I almost assure you Logan Paul and KSI had nothing to do with this, but he involved them to cover himself and to get the kids after him. So you're attacking the parents and you're attacking the kids. I say attacking, that's not even a marketing term, but I'm just saying it. You're going after parents and you're going after kids. That's like a double whammy. You're almost assured to do better, especially since Lunchables have already been outed as being less healthier. If he goes and tells parents it's healthier for you, it's really good marketing.
To be honest, some of the comparisons are
kind of
cringe and don't make much sense to me, but maybe that's because I'm not the target demo. Flavorful combos versus standard picks?
Yeah.
The meal kit
Yeah,
combos
what?
are nearly
Yeah, what?
identical to Lunchables. Big gestures versus
Mid moments.
I certainly don't remember that lesson in my nutrition.
Okay, let's again more marketing in buzzwords. First off, calling something mid is a big buzzword, but also let's go back a little bit. Flavorful versus standard, big versus mid, bold packaging versus basic packaging. What does the packaging have to do with whether the food is healthier or not? So, like, what is this?
Versus standard picks, the meal kit combos are nearly identical to
Identical
Lunchables.
anyway.
Big gestures versus mid moments. I certainly don't remember that lesson in my nutrition classes. I was more concerned.
Like I said, I remember it in my classes as a marketer. I remember buzzwords. They're really throwing. There was a whole lot of nothing in that comparison chart. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm sorry, Dr. Mike. I know you're talking, but look at this. Look at the electrolytes versus electrolytes. That's the only thing here of substance. Nothing here. Nothing. This is all so what, and that's another thing. You can't let people ask so what about your product. So that's not good. Am I recording? I'm recording. I thought I wasn't recording for a second.
Gestures versus mid moments. I certainly don't remember that lesson in my nutrition classes. I was more concerned with the nutritional comparisons being made anyway. So if someone was to make a healthy meal kit for kids, I would find that incredibly valuable. And in looking in the comparison, I'd be most interested in calories, which they have, protein, which they have, sugar, which they have, saturated fat, which is missing, and sodium,
which is missed. Okay. Why even include? I see where all this drama is coming from. What is this? What kind of product is this? And what kind of marketing is this? Why would you have that on there?
Not only missing, but replaced by electrolytes.
Okay.
And unlike all the other macros,
Okay.
is only labeled potassium and only in the prime bottle in the kit, comparing it to the Capri Sun in the Lunchables. This is a pretty weird marketing choice to label electrolytes in food products. It's such a strange choice that it even stunned fellow Dr. Brian Suterer, who tweeted,
"Sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day."
Completely. Again, as a marketer, I hate to keep throwing out my marketing degree here, but like I completely see what they're talking about is they replaced it. And it's like electrolytes is a buzzword. That's one of the reasons people, oh goodness, what drink is full of electrolytes? Gatorade. That's one of the reasons Gatorade does so well is because it throws out electrolytes at you when the average person probably can't even tell you what electrolytes does. I'm going to sit here. I date a biochemist. And I know sodium is a thing that exists, but I didn't even know that electrolytes and sodium were in the same category. So I'm even going to say it. I'm going to be honest and say that.
And sadly, was ashamed to see Logan attack instead of starting a meaningful dialogue.
Crazy how even a sports medicine doctor can't tell the difference between sodium and potassium. You idiot. That's real defensive.
With the doctor, given that 400 milligrams is not the amount of electrolytes in Prime, at least in the image that Logan shared. 400 milligrams of potassium plus 5 milligrams of sodium equals 405 milligrams of electrolytes. It's not about nitpicking, it's just about being reasonable and honest to help further the conversation. Look, if I want to decide if a food is right for me, I like to be able to compare the entire electrolyte profile, which would have to include sodium. It's like having a PB&J sandwich label that says what's in the sandwich, you know, protein, fats, calories, but then the sugar line only tells you what's in the peanut butter as opposed to the jelly
instead of the
entire
whole damn sandwich.
I wanted to go further and do the comparisons myself using the nutrition facts from the Lunchables and
I'm just gonna say this. We're only halfway through the video, and I can see why this is so much drama is surrounding this, why this is so controversial, and it's only from the marketing side of things. Like, this doctor hasn't even gotten into why it's unhealthy for you or why it's not a healthier option, and it's just from the marketing side of things. I can see how deceptive this is. Imagine if he had a doctor. Imagine if it was actually healthy and Mr. Beast got a doctor on his side. You know, Dr. Mike here has 12, I think I saw he has about like 12 million followers on YouTube. So like, imagine if he actually got Dr. Mike to come out and actually say, yeah, this is healthier. He didn't do that because it's not healthier. Whatever.
Lunchly websites, and it's honestly really hard to draw perfectly clear conclusions for several reasons. One, I don't have nutrition facts for each part of the kits. For example, how many calories come from Feastables versus the food component? Second, some of the portion sizes aren't the same. The turkey cracker kit from Lunchables is 82 grams, while Lunchly's is 72 grams. Three, there are so many varieties of Lunchables that just swapping out the flavor of Capri Sun caused significant differences in sugar and calorie content. What I was able to conclude is that Lunchly has less sugar and therefore less calories than Lunchables in comparable kits. That's probably due to the drink component of the kit, as Capri Sun uses sugar and Prime is artificially sweetened. Lunchly has significantly more potassium than Lunchables because of the Prime drink, which I guess is good.
Yeah, I
Not
guess.
something I'd regularly use in deciding if a food is an ideal lunch for a kid. Lunchly has slightly less sodium and saturated fat than comparable Lunchables. That's definitely moving in the right direction, however both differences were fairly small. Lunchly does use real cheese as opposed to cheese product, signaling that at least one ingredient is less processed than in Lunchables, but the entirety of the kit is still considered an ultra-processed meal. Lunchly...
Yeah. It's like if you have a bowl of Skittles and there's an M&M in it. It's still a bowl of Skittles. I don't know. Ugh. Excuse me, my bunny's being crazy.
Has higher amounts of A and B vitamins, which can be good, but also can be problematic as vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, and kids can easily overconsume it, leading to toxicity. Being that it's fat-soluble means that you can't just urinate excess out. This has actually been raised as an issue by experts with Prime in general.
Yeah, Prime. That was another thing. I'm actually surprised to see Prime in this drink because, I mean, in this lunch, because Prime was under scrutiny for being a crazy, not so healthy drink.
These legitimate upgrades, social media posts are slamming Lunchly for not being perfect. But Lunchly does not need to be perfect to be valuable for kids. It just needs to be significantly healthier in order to reduce risk. As a doctor, I use risk reduction all the time, essentially taking something harmful and replacing it with something less harmful, but still imperfect. As an example, I would never recommend starting vaping, but getting someone to replace smoking cigarettes with vaping is generally a good step down in terms of health risk. Knowing all that, is it fair to say that Lunchly is healthier? I guess one can say yes, but honestly, probably more so as a marketing tactic.
Don't get me started on marketing. Don't get me started on marketing. It's technically healthier. Technically.
The reason why? Well, let's look at the recently passed nutrition standards set forth by the USDA for school lunches and see how Lunchly compares. Going line by line here. less than 10% of calories should come from saturated fat. Lunchly
Jeez.
turkey, 23% of calories come from saturated.
Jeez.
Less than 10% of calories should come from added sugars. Lunchly turkey, 10.4 comes from added sugars. But this is where things get really interesting, and for some reason, no one has pointed this out. You see, USDA caloric guidelines say that a lunch meal for kids K through 8 should contain around 625 calories. Kids need energy to function, and calories give them
calories
that
is
energy.
energy.
Lunchly turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories. And if they did that, they'd get nearly 1,300 milligrams of sodium, which is also significantly over the USDA standards.
Oh my god. So it's like you don't get enough calories, so you stay under how much sodium you need. I mean, you stay in the healthier side of sodium. You don't get enough calories, but if you match the calories, you get too much sodium. So it's like, why would you pick this?
So they'd be either under eating calories or overeating sodium.
Yeah.
Finally, the grain guidelines state that 80% of lunch meals must be whole grain, and Lunchly turkey does not list any whole grain ingredients.
That's terrible.
Clear, Lunchly,
That's actually just terrible.
just like Lunchables, misses the mark too many times to be considered meaningfully healthy.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. That being said, I do think many criticisms pointed at Logan, KSI, and Jimmy are unfair. Attacking them for trying to create a successful influencer product isn't inherently problematic. I just think if a company was truly interested in creating a healthier lunch kit for kids, the USDA standards should be the minimum starting requirements. Otherwise, we're simply propagating the product.
All right, doesn't have that. Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it with if it was truly healthier or if it was truly much better, they would have had a doctor come, because Jimmy knows. I don't know why I call him Jimmy, but Mr. Beast, he knows how to market things. He knows how to get attention, and I think having a doctor actually come out and tell parents and actually the kids that are trying to convince their parents to buy this crap for them, if he actually had a doctor tell people, yeah, this is actually better for you, that would have been a slam dunk. It's not a slam dunk. It's not a good product. It's not very much healthier. That's really it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.